Let's go next to Audrey from Georgia. Audrey, you are on the air.
Hi, David. I believe we've talked before.
Excellent.
But I had an interesting question for you. I was on yesterday, wanted to ask. So I studied Chinese in college, and I was talking with my Chinese professor yesterday,
Now,
and I've
sorry,
come
I'm
to the
sorry to interrupt. Did you study Mandarin or Cantonese?
Mandarin,
Ah, okay, good.
and I came to the conclusion that I think China is a little bit like kind of. I think we treat them very biased in our media and especially in our education. And I wanted to get your take on that. Do you think that China, in many ways, is sort of like demonized in our media? Like, if you look in the news, it's always something bad about them. There's never any reports on like the good things going on in there, like scientific research and everything.
Yeah, I would
What's your
generally
take?
speaking agree that there is I mean, listen, China is an economic adversary. There is no question about that. But they're also an economic partner, and that's what makes this so complex. On the one hand, we have an economy that for decades has been based on being able to get cheap stuff from China. That's what it is. If we didn't get cheap stuff from China and we couldn't quickly get it elsewhere and had to bring all production domestically, we'd be buying American, as some people say, but things would cost dramatically more. And what I see is an asymmetry in if we want to recognize China as an economic adversary and along with Russia up there with the US as being in a battle to be the major of the three major superpowers, that's fine. That's accurate. I have no problem identifying China in that way. But so many of the people who wildly talk about China virus and intellectual property theft and this stuff seem to not know or recognize that our entire way of life, including the purchasing power that we have, is based on the fact that we get so much of our products from China. And I think it would be great to have a more balanced perspective on that.
All right, and I was more talking about also like in education, very few people in the United States seem to know anything about like the politics or the general like daily life of what it's like for people in China. They just see it as
That's
sort of
not
this like
super surprising, though. That it's very
yeah.
common that people in the United States also know very little about the lives of people in Russia or in Japan or in Denmark. Now, you could say, well, China's more important to know about for the reasons you're laying out, but it's not surprising that U.S. education, at least at the K through 12 level, is very U.S.
I
centric.
mean, like in U.S. education, we learn all about how the Japanese and British Parliament and everything works, but there's absolutely no involvement in how other countries, such as like how Russia's or how China's politics work. And I think it's something important that we need to recognize if we're going to have those important political discussions all over the news about, like China getting rid of term limits or anything. If you're going to understand that, you have to have at least a basic knowledge of how it works.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely. Audrey, thank you for the call.
You're welcome.
All right. There is Audrey. Let's go next to, oh, we don't often get calls from Idaho. Let's go to Barbara from Idaho.
Hi, David. Can you hear me?
Barbara, I can hear you fine. Or at least I could. Are you still there? Barbara's gone. That's too bad. Barbara left. Was really looking forward to that. I would love to know what's happening in Idaho. It's a closed book for me. Let me put it that way. Let's go to Tyler from St. Louis. Tyler, you're on the air.
Hey, David. I'm not eating a sandwich this time.
Okay, good.
I guess I didn't really have a question. I just wanted to apologize to the Pac-Man community for subjecting their ears to that.
You listened back and the sandwich eating was a distraction during your last call, in other words.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think apology accepted. Now we've sorted it out.
All right. That's all I had to say.
Okay, good. But next time, definitely mute the Discord blings. That would be what the thing to work on for the next call.
Yeah,
There's another one. Yep.
Yeah, that's something to do to push to talk. I don't know how to turn that off. I have no idea why my microphone picks that up.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Thank you for the call. We've gotten everything up to date as far as that's concerned. One of our sponsors is privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at privacy.com/Pacman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver, and here's how it works. Takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the Privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft. And it's free. There's no catch whatsoever. But if you want, Privacy also offers a $10 a month plan that gives you 1% cash back and lets you create 36 credit cards a month, and a $25 a month plan tailored more for small businesses where you can create 60 card numbers a month and much more. But definitely go ahead and at least get started with the free plan. You'll protect your financial info. Companies can't charge you unexpectedly. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at privacy.com/Pacman.